Canadian Navy had supplied two important targets, the command ship Lawford, and now this small landing craft. While we were diving, they would continue with an overall survey and cover as much of the Juneau area as time would allow. Who knows what they might find? Because I had seen the side scan image, I knew even before we reached the bottom that this was a small target. There was no point in the divers staying within eyesight of one another. It meant we had the freedom to really wander and explore around. Not like a really large naval vessel where you could actually get turned around and lost. Here we had the luxury to spread out and go in our own directions. And that was important because we hoped to investigate and cover as much of the area as possible. We had a limited bottom time dictated by the tide. Once I moved inside, I found an odd assortment of something. Whatever they were, they seemed to be stacked on edge and lying parallel, one beside the next. And then I realized, of course, these were sections of portable roadway, like the ones that we had stood on back in Arromanches. As we overlooked the harbor, here was cargo that was intended to be dropped off on the beach. It brought home the idea that these vessels weren't only for carrying people, they were here for carrying materials and the things that would be needed in the invasion once they got to shore. Looking further, we found machine gun cartridges, which led me to think of one of two things. Either this vessel was carrying ammunition, or it had a gun, and at some point it may have been firing on the enemy. Just more evidence of how the ferocity of the killing zone increased as the vessels approached the beaches.
Wow, I mean, we're seeing so much stuff on the bottom. I mean, every aspect of the invasion. Did you see that whole collection of machine gun shells?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You didn't see a gun anywhere, did you, Jim?
No.
Okay, I thought you were signaling that you saw a gun. I guess you were saying you saw ammo.
I saw ammo. They haven't quite figured out a diver sign yet for ammunition on this wreck.
So would they have been carrying ammo to the troops, or was that...
Every one of these things would be armed.
Okay.
Sure,
Everybody would have... you'd have to. I mean, you wouldn't know if there's a plane, if there'd be a plane coming out of the sky or an enemy craft. You don't want to be a sitting duck.
No.
You know what I'm thinking as I'm looking at that stuff there? It's roadway or it's a bridge. Yeah. To help them, once they get on that beach, I had to push on to Berlin. So this is literally kicking the door open into Hitler's fortress Europe.